guys. Welcome to this episode of the Trainer Feed. We are your hosts. My name is Angel Sanchez. With me, I have Mr. Jacques Deloger
Hey, what's up, everyone?
and also Mr. David Bravo.
Oh, what's up?
On today's episode, we would like to cover, what are we covering? Actually, I know what we're covering. We're covering
Tell us.
background history, medical background history. If you guys have any sort of like things in your family that you would like to speak about. So if there is something that you don't want to speak about, obviously don't. But also what steps you're taking to try to, counteract that. I think it's something that's relatable for a lot of clients. It's something that's relatable for a lot of people. We all have our family history. They say, the best way to not have anything or be an athlete or whatever is just like to choose your parents. But obviously that's not a choice that we have.
We aren't the Ball family.
Say it again?
We aren't the Ball family.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I mean, we're not. Unless we are and we were just like left in a cart or something like that. Don't you wonder that? I think every kid goes through that phase where it's just like, was I adopted? Or is that just me?
No, I mean, me and my siblings all look very different to each other. We have some, it's. I just look at other people. I mean, besides in the picture that you showed me, and I can support your dad for like 10 people.
I was thinking about that the other day. Damn.
Dude, there's like 3 guys. There's like 7 guys, and like my 4th try. I was like, wait, that's him. And random guys. I thought it was your dad.
And
There's one guy that's clearly same age as us.
Angel's
like dad.
Yeah,
like one of the older guys.
It's like one of the there was only like 2 older guys. 2 guys with like gray hair.
And then I picked the young guy.
Everybody else was like my age. They're like, yeah, he's your dad. I'm like, oh no.
Because in my head I was like, it's not going to be obvious. It's going to be different. That's what I was thinking. So I was like, don't pick the obvious choice. That's what I was thinking.
No. Me and David have a different take on that. So we won't share that on air.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So like, I'll start off. So I think that in my family there are certain things that pop up like cardiovascular disease as well as like diabetes, and on both sides. So there's stuff on both ends of the spectrum, and it's challenging to, when you're a kid to kind of like think about what that means and then what it means for you. And then also, as you guys know, like I have ulcerative colitis, which kind of like falls outside of that. But you think about like what are you doing to prevent other things from happening based on your circumstance. And obviously there's a lot of stats or a lot of recording about like people who are Hispanic or black and having like an increased risk of cardiovascular disease or an increased risk of diabetes. And a lot of that stuff, from what it seems like, can be controlled through like diet and exercise. Obviously if you're born with diabetes, that's nothing that you can really change, or if you have a genetic condition, that's nothing you can change really. But trying to eat what my version of healthy is, and try not to do too many things that are going to put me at risk, helps out, right? So like one thing is just like the controllables, like what you eat, how you move, how frequently. And so for me, I know that oatmeal is like a staple in my diet, or staple in my nutrition, just because I know that it's good for reducing, like your cholesterol or bad cholesterol, quote unquote. And then it's also good for heart health and has a lot of fiber, things like that. And then I try to get in my cardio. I try to do what I can to keep moving and try to stay away from sweets. Although, like, for me, it's really easy to stay away from sweets. I know, Jacques, it's not so easy for you to stay away.
Oh my god, it's a struggle every day.
But I think that everybody's different in that event too, right? Like, because if I love sweets, it would be really hard to kind of like just have one of something and then stay away. A lot of people that I know, they just like cram. Like I know like a couple of people that do the same thing as you. If they have like a pack of
Oreos or
Oreos, Twizzlers.
Yeah.
One of my buddies really loves a Sour Patch. And if he gets Sour Patch, there's like one flavor he doesn't like, and he'll just like throw that shit to the side. But like the rest of the bag, like he'll just
inhale it.
Like in probably like a block, we'll open it at one block, and at the end of that block, it's gone.
It's done.
It's crazy.
What other foods do you stay away from? You said sweets, but
I try to stay away from like fried foods, because I know that that's not necessary. And you know what? Like it's weird because like once you start eating a certain way, you almost crave that less. And then also like when you move a certain way, right? Like because I remember growing up, like I would eat like KFC and not so much Popeyes, But like KFC and all that other stuff, I don't know why I put that out there. Like one is better than the other, but I know some
Yeah, a
people.
lot of
debate.
angry people coming in our DMs now.
Well, it's like Taco Bell, right? Like I'm sure there are people who favor Taco Bell, and then there's probably a counter to Taco Bell, or like McDonald's versus Burger King.
Yeah.
Like some people choose sides. But anyway, so I ate a lot of that stuff growing up, but I didn't really feel that good. And then when you move as well, it's like you start to feel like little sharp pains in your arms or sharp pains in your chest. You get cramps, you get bloated. I know David's looking at me like, dude, that's a heart attack.
What are you talking about? Bro, I felt like pins and needles like a couple days ago on my left finger, and I'm walking to work. I'm like,
This ain't
here
good.
it comes.
This is how it
It's
starts.
gonna happen. But then I started
Every day
realizing
the rest of your life.
I just realizing how fucked up my shoulder is. Anyways, it's like all
Yeah.
shit going on there.
Yeah.
Then it was gone after like 2 minutes. But
And then it comes back tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh man, if it comes back. No, but like those are the things that I try to stay away from. But flipped it like bacalaitos. Like bacalao is just like something that a lot of Puerto Rican families eat. But it's pretty much like bacalaito is like a fried codfish like
Okay.
pancake. It's like a scallion pancake but of codfish.
chimichurri,
Exactly. So it's like you eat
chifrito.
cuchifrito. We used to go to cuchifrito spot a lot, like every week. Maybe not every week. Maybe I'm gassing it, but like it became a thing. Like there were times where we ate it more frequently, but then I
Uptown,
realized
you have
a
the
lot of
carts. Uptown, you have the food cars.
yeah,
Sell that fried pork belly.
Yep.
It's fucking
yeah,
so
and
good.
the skin. What is it?
Oh, the pork fries, pork rinds.
Not pork rinds,
I
but
was
it's
never a big
actual-
fan of pork rinds. I never liked it.
It's like something else. But anyway, so there's a lot of foods that I ate growing up that I still like. Like they're still good to eat, like tasty to eat, I should say. But I don't eat that stuff on the regular basis anymore. I might have that maybe once a year, just because I know that eating it consistently is not going to be great for me. But at the same time,
Can enjoy life as well a little bit, right? Like once in a while, if you can
Yeah.
find that limit where you can have it. But again, it's that risk versus reward observation where it's good to enjoy it, but if it's going to screw you up for a day or a couple of weeks, or it screws up your sleep, then your sleep screws you up. Like foreseeing what the effect is going to be, I guess, is kind of important too.
yeah, because it's like if you eat a pernil, for example, right, like a pork shoulder, it's not like you're just going to have that for one day because it's big. You're going to eat that for multiple days. And then most people eat the skin because the skin gets like,
Flavor.
crispy and has the flavor and whatever. And it's like, it's one of those things that, like, I wouldn't buy it to make it because I know that I'm not going to eat just one. I'm not just going to have it one time. It's going to be like for the week or at least for a couple of days. You're going to make, cubanos, or you're going to make, pernil with arroz con gandules or something else. And then you're just going to have like the leftover skin, like, I don't know. So those are things that I stay away from to try to counteract that. Enough about me. How about you guys? What are some things that you guys got going on in your family that you would like to speak about? And then, Jacques, go next.
Oh, okay.
I'll pass it towards David.
Okay.
David.
No, I just okay. So sometimes I always go down rabbit holes. So I was trying to get it last. There's a little bit of cancer in my family, unfortunately. There's a little bit of diabetes, I believe. Whenever I've done some form of screen or doctor's check, I don't usually put too much down in terms of information because it's not too much, fortunately. There's not really much for me to talk about on this matter, honestly. You talked about like sweets, and I know the effect that sweeter foods or more processed foods has on me and like my sleep and my mood and some that kind of thing. Sorry. So nothing really else, honestly. I don't know if my injuries consider that because it's interesting with genetics. I remember I brought that up to my folks about what the cause of my knee issues would have been, and they said it's partly wear and tear, partly genetics, and like, it wasn't taken too well by my folks when I said that because it kind of made me sound like your genetics are poor when that really wasn't the case. It was more of that's what they told me, and like I just think it's just there's so many things in there. It's not to say it's your parents, whether it's from your grandparents, whatever, but there is a history of knee issues in my dad's side of the family. Like maybe my dad's got knee issues. I forget my dad's, excuse me. has had at least one knee surgery, maybe two, like very minor as well. But then my grandmother as well had stuff. So that's pretty much about it for me, though. In terms of kind of food, what you're talking about, like I know it's all within reason, though, right? I think you have to enjoy life, and whether it be Taco Bell, whether it be McDonald's, whatever it is, I think if you can reel yourself in and not go crazy on it, it's important to enjoy food. I think that's the approach I have a lot of clients is I actually want you to have a little bit of what you want on a regular basis. Just make it weekly, not daily. And if you have that chocolate ice cream, I also think even if you have something very small daily, if the rest of what you're eating is pretty sound and calorically you're staying pretty mindful, you can have a little something sweet every single day, as long as it's not like 3 Levain cookies, which range between 500 calories per. Right, that's like some people's allowance of calories in one day for 3 cookies. Like if you know what I'm saying, I think that's just something to take into consideration as well. But besides on the health wise, that's kind of me wrapped up. What about you, David?
Wait, do you think that you make decisions based on that stuff? So
Calories, you mean?
no, you said you calorie monger. In terms of like the cancer and then also possible diabetes.
Not really. I made that sound selfish or naive, but I just it's in my my family history. Sorry, but I still just I mean I want to live optimally as possible, and I just try and make the best decisions. I mean that's something that I have to factor in because I once saw a documentary years ago with food nutrition, and they spoke about one of their theories of curing cancer, and what their theory was, as opposed to trying to find something to cure it, is just giving your body or the cancers fewer opportunities, fewer environments for them to really thrive and growing in, and certain environments for those to be thriving in. Some scientist is going to throw me off the building in a minute, but if you're a smoker, right, you provide the environment for your body to really allow those cancers to grow. In theory, right? In simple, in layman's terms, right? So, doing as few things as possible to help the growth of any kind of cancer. So, just staying as natural as possible with almost anything and everything. That's why with food, that's the conversation I have with clients as well. Like, try and get the foods from as close to the source as possible. It's just the most natural thing for us. So I do make, I guess, yeah, answering your question, I do make some decisions based on that too. Just when I saw this documentary back in 2014, 2015, I think it was, I can't remember whichever one it was, but they just spoke about that being one of the most effective ways of dealing with cancers. Don't provide the best environment for them to thrive, for cancer cells to thrive in or to generate and to be built in. So that's kind of the only thing I'd say.
Yeah, because I think obviously, like we still don't know the mechanisms to which there's a lot of different types of cancer, and the mechanisms to which they manifest themselves in the human body, right? Because everybody's different, and some people smoke for years and they never get cancer,
Right.
So that is
A
interesting.
lot of smoking in my family, though. In my dad's side of the family.
Yeah,
A lot of smoke. When I grew up in France, and if they listen to this, don't be mad at me. It's just facts.
Oh, you grew up in the UK.
So I grew up in the UK, and I spent like chunks of my summer in France visiting family, right? And my dad used to be a smoker.
Was it in the castle?
In the castle, no, I didn't visit the castle quite late on when I was a kid.
At the Louvre.
The Louvre, no, it's in Paris. So a lot of my family are smokers, like cousins. Well, the Louvre is in Paris. You guys have the moment? No. So, yes, there's a lot of
Europe. I've never been.
You guys should go.
I've been to Germany and Austria.
When did you go?
I was 13. I
You visited
forgot
the
my entire
axis?
trip.
You
There were
went to
probably
the
two things
axis?
that I forgot that I remember.
What'd you remember?
I remember going to, I think it was in Germany. We went to this cathedral for Easter Mass. Because
In
it
Munich?
was a Catholic school. No, it wasn't Munich.
Where?
It was Peter something. I think it was Peter something. Or the hotel's name was Peter something.
Peter
Hotel.
Luger's.
They told him I go to Germany. Just drove to Brooklyn.
Yeah. Like, look, David, you're in Germany now.
That was actually
You cross the bridge, you're actually in Germany. Cross the pond.
No, so I remember that, and after like 5 minutes, the teacher was like, "We're out, fuck this," because it was like, the mass was in Latin, and there's no seating because it was.
Did you go to Catholic school?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a little excursion, and I begged my fucking parents to
Gracias
let
a
me go.
Dios.
Gracias a Dios. And we went, and after like maybe 5-10 minutes, the teachers are like, "Yeah, yeah, no, we're not doing this. And then we just dipped.
Oh,
He's like, don't tell anyone.
The whole reason
Yeah.
we came over. The whole reason they came over in like 10 minutes done.
Then they took us to a brewery and they were like, don't tell your parents and just let us all have like some beer.
what?
Yeah,
You're
it was great.
13.
I was a
First
freshman in high
drink
school.
was in school. Yo, Catholic
my
school.
God.
Yeah, that. And then what else do I remember?
That's another.
I remember almost getting pickpocketed. And then some of my classmates helped me out.
They jumped him.
Almost. We almost destroyed this. these
So
two
he was
guys.
trying to pickpocket you. First of all, that's at 13. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
borderline molestation.
They do, and so these tourist cities they're big on it. Paris is
Even
pretty big.
kids?
Yeah, they don't care. Money's money. These are people that are less fortunate than us, so they're like, what's a wallet to you compared to them? Like they need it in theory.
I need it too.
You staying
He's
home.
13.
You gotta learn Latin.
He's not
You
even
gotta learn
home.
Latin compared to mass.
What else? What else would I remember? We were there with a group from Delaware. There were a couple of cute girls, and I went to an old boys' high school. So like living in a hotel with like a couple of girls and like my classmates, we were all just always hanging out. It was like big. You know, we were like, oh shit, I'm in high
Spider-Man
school.
movie.
We're like, oh shit.
They all went on a
Mysterio
class
just
trip.
like fuck to
We all
Venice.
stayed in contact. They were really nice girls, really nice. And ultimately, like years go by, you just like fall out. You know? And then I'm on my Facebook friends list. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't even remember who they are.
Oh man.
Because you friended them.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know, like somewhere I think in my parents' place, there's a CD filled with like all these photos that everybody.
We're gonna have to go find these
I
CDs.
can't. I
One of your
look
days,
for
your
it.
father's birthday, whatever week it is.
The thing is, like, I can't. I
That's true.
don't remember much from that trip.
You're 13.
Yeah.
Mm.
Damn.
Well, I'm trying to
Well,
remember.
It didn't sound too good. So
Yeah, that'd be some happy
fine.
memories there.
Fine,
I
but
know.
it was just some things that I'm like, I just don't remember.
Huh?
Damn.
Oh, we went to Hamburg,
Hamburg
Is that okay in Germany?
or Hamburg?
Germany. They were like, it was Easter, so
Hamburg.
they had like these big like fucking Easter eggs that are like the size of like just fucking massive, right next to some like cathedral or something or
Mhm.
castle.
Mm-hmm.
And but the front of it was under construction.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did is they put up this basically they put up a big like poster that made it look like it was the actual building, like pristine, but behind it was like the scaffoldings and they were like fixing shit.
Damn.
So from
Yeah, you
afar,
gotta-
you're like, oh, that looks great, and then it's like, no, it's
It's
on the
all
wall.
underwater
Spend
It was just a
30 minutes
picture
walking up
in
there.
front of the actual.
That's hilarious. I mean, that's what you have to do. I mean, I went to most recently when I went to Paris, Notre Dame. It'd only been
Notre Dame.
Notre
Yeah,
Dame.
we're in America.
They had the fire to the building maybe a few months prior,
remember
and that
that,
was
yeah.
the only time I've been to Paris and not been able to see it. I mean, I used to go because we're in France. I left for a duration. We're about an hour or so away south of Paris, so we could go and see it. That's the only time I've gone and never. And I guess you just take things for granted when you always see things all the time, and then when you can't see, it, you're like, oh damn, this is.
We went up some tower too.
Yeah, where do they take you? I want to. These school teachers,
remember.
they're like, they took you to the brewery instead of going to mass, which is
I
probably
know,
what they
I'm gonna look
sold
it
the parents on. They're
online
going to
somewhere.
mass.
I'm sure it's online somewhere because it was with like EF tours, and I'm sure I could look it up,
fuck
like the
is that?
year.
You said EF tours, like everybody knows what EF tours is.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
education. It's called
Tours is.
educational something tours.
Engagement in the brewery is what
So the beer was good.
Engagement Brewery Federation.
Get drunk, get pickpocketed, climb off a fucking tower. I'm pretty sure they were gonna throw you off, but they said, nah, chill.
Where are these
Oh,
teachers?
we went to a sex shop.
Yeah, oh my god.
Where are these teachers? they locked up.
So
What
I
is-
remember this
Oh,
was
man.
when we all just actually like snuck away. We were all hanging out, and then we actually like snuck away for like maybe 10, 15 minutes, and we were seeing all these places.
Why would you leave some teenage boys, high school age or junior high school into high school age, that go to an all boys school? What, like, I don't even know where to start. Like, that's a risky trip in and of itself. Like,
Oh,
I
our
would
school's in
not.
the South Bronx. Come on.
Yeah, but it's still Catholic school. You still gotta pay. I went to public school. Maybe that's why they didn't take us anywhere. So like,
They
these
didn't trust
savages we need to go to metal detectors. Anyway, that's a whole nother rant.
Should we-
Education.
sh-
This
should-
is education.
You wanna do you guys have any closing thoughts? You want to wrap it up?
Oh no, we didn't talk about David, yo.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
That's
Well,
a
you start
David
talking
trip.
about these teachers letting you do what the hell you want and try and throw you off the buildings and pickpocketing whatever.
First of all, that hurt my feelings.
Dave-
Second,
David, let's talk about medical history.
Well,
Anything
my
you feel
parents,
comfortable with.
on my dad's side, there was diabetes. My dad was pre-diabetic for a little bit, and then he like cleaned up his eating habits. Um, uncle's diabetic, and a couple of my another aunt is diabetic. So yeah, diabetes runs on my dad's side. My mom's side, nothing much. Honestly, like nothing at all. Honestly, migraines. I guess I get my mom has a lot of migraines. I used to get migraines. Um, but that's it. I mean, and after that, the biggest thing is just watching. I guess how I eat, and as I get older, it gets harder. Because I remember, as a younger guy, I would always go to the doctor, and they would always tell me that I'm like as healthy as like anything, and I was always a bigger guy, so it was kind of in a way like, okay, well, how long can I ride this, right? Of like, I'm healthy, but I'm still big, and my parents have that. My mom, no, my dad has had almost had diabetes. My uncle has it, and it gets tougher as you get older, because it does it. You're not as young, and you can't really like recover, and your body doesn't really do what it used to do. So now, I start realizing how harder it is when it comes to, I guess, changing your habits. Um, and the gym helped a lot because you just go and lift weights and do your activities and stuff. Playing rugby has helped too because I'm getting my cardio in 2 to 3 times a week. Just sprinting like crazy. And I think the biggest thing too is just working at a place that you have a lot of people that know things that if you do hurt yourself, you easily get better within a couple of weeks, and then just keep going. And that's the biggest thing that runs in my family that I know of. Yeah. So
I was gonna say with that, like even because it reminded me of the diabetes in my family, and then it also reminded me that we used to drink soda all the freaking time growing up,
yeah, we just drink Coca-Cola, Sprites, and
and
ginger ale because my dad thought that ginger ale was super
like
healthy.
it was healthy,
So it's like,
right?
oh, just drink
Exactly,
all the
because it's
ginger ale you
ginger.
want. And it's
It's
like,
gonna be good for your gut, though, isn't it?
yeah, but like maybe like a can a month or something.
Yeah,
Like,
Right,
but
not
then it's
crushing
like,
it on the
here's
daily.
a 2 liter soda every day.
Oh
yeah,
no,
right,
No,
your
exactly.
teeth gonna fall out.
Well,
So
that's
that
the other thing people don't even realize. Like Coca-Cola, in and of itself, has like these properties to disintegrate bone, and it's like you eat that, you drink that over time, you consume it, whatever, eat, drink, you consume it over time, and that can't
and
be
I
good
felt it.
for
There are
your
times where I've
teeth.
had Coke, and I've had cans of Coca-Cola. Like I had one like last week. I think I had one earlier this week. And you
Yeah.
start realizing after you drink it, sometimes at least I do,
Your
I feel
teeth.
something weird on my teeth.
Mm.
Like if put your teeth together and you start like maybe like grinding a little
Grinding
bit,
them.
it just feels off. It feels so weird, and in like kind of a deterrent because I'm like, this doesn't seem right.
So that's funny you say that because when I was bartending my first job in England, we could have whatever drink we could have, soft drink behind the bar. So you were spoiled for choice. One day it'd be Diet Coke, Coke, Sprite, ginger ale, whatever I wanted. And after a period of time, one, it was affecting my sleep when I finished my shift because I had like 3, 4 Cokes. I was like buzzing. But by the end, I came off all the sodas because my teeth were hurting so bad. And then when we went to the dentist and I told them kind of how much soda I was having or anything fizzy, they were saying you have to just kind of watch it. And then just over time, I weaned off it. And now whenever I go anywhere, I'm happy with water. And it sounds boring. Like, what do you drink? I was like, water. No tea, coffee, no alcohol, nothing. I'm like, just water. I'm fine with water. I love a bit of flavor in my water, but I like ginger ale. When my stomach's really screwed up, yeah, I go
You have
ginger
all
ale.
that. But the thing for me is like I've realized this in the past couple years. I have this like unhealthy need to always be drinking something like super crisp and cold,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little fizzy, and
Cold I get,
something
because
flavorful.
even in the winter I need
Like,
cold water.
I always have to, and it's so weird because if I would make like 2 quarts of like water with some lime or lemon, no sugar or anything, just like put it there, I would finish that whole thing within like maybe an hour
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just like I just constantly need it. So that's what I've been doing. Like it's like okay, let me just at least drink some water, maybe put some lime in it,
Fruits in it as well.
and I just like down it all. And easily it could become something that you have that isn't the healthiest thing. Like if I bought like a 2 liter thing of like Fresca or Diet Coke, it could be gone like in like 2 days.
Yeah, it's like me
It's
and
just like
Oreos.
constantly.
But that's like how I think in one of our first episodes I spoke about how I was drinking beer like every day after work, and I realized that it wasn't because I wanted beer or alcohol. It was because it was similar to that. Like I just wanted something fizzy or something different because I drink water all day. And then I swapped that with the Lacroix, and now eventually like I just swapped that to nothing. I'm back at square one because I guess it was a phase. That's part of the deal. Like sometimes you go through phases in life where you're just like you just need something or you feel like you need something. Exactly, right, because those phases turned into lifestyle choices.
One of our coworkers back at gym, she used to be a big smoker, and she was telling me how she was addicted to cigarettes, and she quit the cigarettes, but she still had the need to have like something in her mouth, basically, like drinking a bottle of water. So she's always like drinking shit, and she told me, she's like, David, it's just one of the things where you're like, you stop that one addiction and you try to get something slightly healthier.
Yeah.
And I think everybody has that thing inside of them that's like, you're creatures of habit. They're like, I need to have X, Y, and Z
Right.
all the time. And for me, it's just like drinking shit. Like, and it's super easy for me to have like I can have a 6-pack of that beer, like easy, and just because it's cold and it's hot out, it's fizzy. I like fizzy stuff.
Yeah.
I bought a Soda Stream and it was like the best thing ever.
Oh yeah, those work good. Those work well.
You can buy little flavorings for it too.
Yeah, those were good too.
Have you guys ever had mixed? This is one thing. Do I like to mix drinks?
What kind of drinks are you talking about, though?
I think I've told you guys this in the past, and I think Angel's like, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, I know it's coming. That's disgusting.
No, it's not. It's iced coffee or cold brew. Mix it half and half with lemonade. With like Minute Maid
Yeah, I remember
lemonade.
you telling us a story.
I put that in my drink, and it looked like shit. It looked like diarrhea.
Dude, it's so good.
He's like, nah, you gotta get this.
Bro, because you need the Minute Maid lemonade
That's what I did. It was like the clear
and
it's
the
like
Starbucks
clearish.
black iced coffee, not iced coffee with milk.
No. Yeah, that's what I. Yes,
You did it
exactly
wrong.
what I
You
did.
did
And
it wrong.
Exactly like diarrhea.
You
Because
did it
was like
wrong.
The lightness of the lemonade and the darkness of the coffee.
It looks like an
just
Arnold
made
Palmer.
It, like light brown, and then like because it was just straight black before, and you have the little coffee grounds that sometimes float up. It was just like floating up, and I was like, "This is diarrhea." And then I said, "You know what? David said it. Let me give it a shot. Try that shit out." I was like, it was fucked up.
So you probably did it wrong.
I was like, and I'm tweaking because now I had
So-
sugar with my coffee.
So
I
good.
specifically don't want my coffee with milk or sugar, and guess what? I just dumped
Lemonade.
sugar.
I've
Lemonade.
mixed seltzer with coffee, with iced coffee before, and it was good.
That sounds
Yeah.
It was
Did
all
you
right.
see? Have you guys seen that? This one guy was debunking iced coffee in Starbucks. How little liquid there is in there.
Yeah, it's all the ice.
They do
I-
a lot of shit. Whenever they go to a pump, I'm like, oh man, this is just.
You see the pump,
diabetes.
like they like slowly lift the whole thing up.
Yeah,
That's one pump,
that's wild.
2 pumps.
I've had drinks before because sometimes Sandra gets like these gift cards for Starbucks. She doesn't drink coffee or anything like that, or tea, but she gets like these gift cards for Starbucks, and I'm like, you know what, like let me try something different because it's like $5 here, $10 here, and so I try some of these things, and I'm sitting there and I see them just like going hard. I'm like, I should have just had my black coffee at home because it's just more sugar than anything else. It tastes good, sure.
One of
but
my
it's,
clients
like,
always comes to our sessions.
hardly
without
caffeine.
fail, with that red strawberry like Starbucks drink.
The dragon fruit drink
think
is
that's what it is.
banging. I'll give him that.
Everybody loves that.
You know what?
I've never had it.
It's
Never had
banging.
it.
I'll give him that.
But without fail, every training session
Yeah.
with a venti.
You know what I'm gonna say real quick
Session.
though.
Have people, you see that in the gym as well, like people on the treadmills. They get there really early and they get like the iced coffee or
That's
the
what I
iced
do. I do that when I'm
passion
lifting and shit. I
fruit
have
or
my
whatever.
whatever next to me.
I'm like, damn, man.
I don't get why people don't make coffee at home though. That really
That saves so much money. I got
Dude,
my little French press.
the
and I
whole-
had to buy coffee.
the whole model. I know you buy coffee, so I'm not trying to shit on you, David.
Trying to shit on you. Well, he's trying to.
But
He's trying
it
to
just-
lift you up, my brother. He's trying to.
Yeah,
put
it's
in
just
your
to me
pocket.
it's
That's what it
crazy.
is.
I understand if you're on the go.
Sure.
I don't know if you remember when we were doing our training
Yeah.
in 2019, 2020, there'd be some people that come in late with a Starbucks. And to me, I thought your priorities aren't straight because you either didn't get there early enough or you needed coffee to get this. And you'd be, sorry, I'm late with the coffee. I was like, your priorities are fucked up.
Well, there's some
nah.
people who do that all the time, and they say like they can't start their day until they have their first cup of coffee. I remember a trainer. I won't say his name because I won't put him on blast or nothing like that. But he go ahead, David. Figure out which button. This is the. Don't mess it up. Press it. All right, David. That's too much. That's too much. That's too much. I was gonna get some more sound effects. I actually downloaded a lot, but they were all like really trash. It was like somebody knocking on a door, and I was like, "When are we gonna use this?" I was like, "This is a good set. We got a good."
Knock, knock, knocking on angels.
Set. That was wild.
Sorry to interrupt. Go
But anyway, what were we talking about?
on. Rabbit hole.
No. Oh, the trainer who
Oh,
doesn't wanna be
coffee.
talking to, spoken to. Yeah, so the
What was it
trainer.
again?
I'm not gonna say the person's name. So they want to get spoken to without coffee, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I realized that that's just something that people have. Like some people, even I see a client right now, and he drinks like 2 cups of coffee before we train.
What time you train him?
6:15.
A.M.
Yeah, a.m.
He's had 2 cups of coffee?
2 cups. And I said, because he's from, overseas, I'll say that. And I asked him, I
London.
was like, it's an American cup of coffee? Or it's like, he's like, nah, I have like 2 small things. But I'm like, still, like, damn.
When I was in college, I used to have two.
He said he's on like 8 a day or something like that now.
What the
I know,
fuck?
I know.
I used to have 2
We're working
venti 4 or 5 shot Americanos. Back when I was a senior.
Venti 4-shot Americano?
I think so. 4 or 5 shot Americano.
What?
That is
When?
crack in
I
a
did that-
drink.
This is when I was a senior in college.
You
in
used to drink
college-
that?
Huh?
You used to drink that?
Yeah, I used to do
In-
it back.
I will say this, like in college,
and then
though, it is a
go
little
work
bit
out
challenging.
and have my
'cause-
pre-workout.
Nah, that's cool.
Oh
Well,
my god.
You just want to, ride
And
the lightning.
I've mixed iced coffee with the shot of C4. With the scoop of C4.
Nah, you remember.
That was the nastiest thing I've ever never do. Don't ever do.
But
that.
in college, I will say this though, like you're pulling all nighters, you got to cram, you're trying to work out, you're trying to do almost too many things that your body and your brain will never be able to do again.
I mean, this class was like 6 p.m. So it was like late. I'm like, I gotta.
Yeah, and if you have a
I'll raise
boring
my
professor,
hand, I'm like-
sorry, I'm listening.
Professor.
You're crazy. I got too excited. It's a coffee professor. Anyway, let's wrap this thing up because obviously. I
Any
have a
closing
break.
thoughts? Don't ever let David convince you to go to Europe for one,
Don't ever let him tell you how to mix a coffee.
because I look like shit. No fun.
So good, man. So
You know what? One episode we'll maybe we'll do a live stream
it
and you can do it
wrong.
live for us.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I don't drink coffee, but I'll try it.
Yeah, I'm
So
telling you, it'll look like diarrhea. I swear.
Like I usually
It
get the
looks
bathroom.
like an Arnold Palmer.
No, I don't know
Just
about
like shit on it.
that. All right.
We'll catch you guys in the next one. Later. Peace.
Thanks, guys. Peace.
Hey.
Bye.